going boar. Today we're going to be turning this into a basket. So let's start. So the first clip I'm going to be showing you is me starting it. So it's called plastic yarn or plarn, as I've seen it floating around. And so you start, and a lot of people's videos I've seen show them looks like new bags. So I did my best with the bags I used to flatten them out completely, try to get all the air out of them and try to smooth them out and fold them in so once you have that flattened out, and you fold it once over and then once over again, and then you're going to start by cutting off the handles of the bag and then do roughly 1-inch increments, and then you will, where the bag is folded in at the bottom, you're going to discard that also. And then it should be loops after that when you take apart the sections, and you want to take each of those loops and tie them into a knot and link them together. So some troubles I had was the bags ripping, and just somewhat unforgiving, so that was a little frustrating. So I just if they did break, just tied them in a little knot and trimmed off the parts so it's not too long, and I went on. Now the next clip I'm going to be showing you is I have a yarn baller. It's a wonderful tool, especially if you're into crocheting and knitting. I'll try to link down for the Amazon link for it down below. And I got mine off, I think, Our Inspirations or something like that, or it's from Your Inspirations, if you ever heard of that site. Also, this saved me a lot of time. If you don't have a yarn baller, no big deal, just ball it up like you would typically do. But some of the problems I had with it was the knots I made were a little too big to go through the feeder of the yarn baller, so I had to stop and do that also. Next clip I have is I found a pattern off or from Spruce Crafts, linking to another crafter who put out this pattern, and so I followed her. She's from Britain, not sure if in England she said, and so I guess the crochet instructions are a little bit different than here in America. So she did a good job trying to translate the abbreviations over, but she called the stitch half treble crochet, which I never heard of, or I guess I was doing it differently than she was. No big deal. But from what her instructions are, I looked like the stitches were correct. So her pattern is very nice. You can make it as big or as small as you want based off the instructions she has given you. Wonderful. So I went that, and then the next clip I have is of the what the bottom looked like finished, just to give you an idea. I went a couple of rows bigger than the initial pattern. Like I said, her pattern allows the basket to be as big or small as you need. So the next one is me starting the sides, and I think I also have at some point me trying to a little more of it. But the way I typically would do a basket or anything like this project is by doing two separate pieces and then sewing them together. This was one cohesive piece, and the instructions regarding stitch-wise and how it didn't change from the bottom to how you did the sides. So I ended up making the bottom perpendicular with my lap as I did it, and I had to, and I was really nervous about it folding and becoming a bigger circle essentially, but it worked out, but I had to, along the way, especially for the first couple of rows, I had to keep kind of molding the edges up just to keep them up. Also, and like I said, very unforgiving. This is a very flimsy basket right now. Like I said, her pattern called for, she starches her baskets, but you can't do it in plastic. And then she like kind of molds them, make them stiff and stand up and be more basket-like. So overall, the pattern wasn't too difficult, not bad. You could probably also mention, I forgot to mention, so the bottom she used what she called a magic ring, and I think in future, I don't know if you ever crocheted or started anything around, I would do a just like chain what I needed and then crochet into the chain instead of doing this magic ring. I'll link the pattern down below for you all too. Let's see if I can find, yeah. This is where I tried back. Oh, yeah. Trying to hold up to the view monitor. Yeah, so. Yeah, see how it's stretched. So there's that. Like I said, very unforgiving. That's it for today's video. If you like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!